Welcome to the Purity Pulse podcast, your go-to podcast for the natural health industry and everything purity life. I'm Erin Macklin.
And I'm Julie Drapeau.
So we'll start off with some weekly check-ins, run and do our questions, and then we'll do a little bit of new to purity life to close it off. Here we are, end of October. We're getting into what I'm told, Scorpio season. I don't follow it that closely, but I know that I'm a Scorpio, so we're right around
we're
that.
doing a little education on the sidelines with Erin on that. But yeah, Scorpio, I'm surrounded by Scorpios.
Yes, I've heard you say that before.
Well, you're one too.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That sounded a little bit like, and you too.
Yeah, exactly. My sister,
Your
Matthew,
sister too.
my husband. Yeah, I've been, all my life has been a Scorpio. I love them. They're great.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great to hear, right?
Good. Excellent. Phew.
But it is, it made me think because I'm taking my sister for her birthday on a trip. And it made me think about how traveling with siblings significantly changed with years.
It's just the two of you that are.
Yes.
Yep.
Have you noticed?
Oh.
Think about when you were a kid to today when you go
siblings.
and go see. Have you done a trip alone with your sister or just visiting her?
I feel like that totally changes, but it also doesn't change at all. Yeah. We haven't done any sort of like big trips, but I'm going back to even just the littlest moments that we've been able to kind of carve out. Even this past summer, my family got together with my sister's family, my brother's family, and our parents. And we had this one opportunity where it's like, I feel like we needed milk or something. There was some reason that somebody was going to need to go out and do a run to the grocery store. And we were like, let's go and leave everybody else here. So my brother and my sister and I loaded into this van and went into town. And the reason why I say that it's like completely different, but it also totally stays the same. Like it's just banter and fun and poking at each other and like giggling and which is I feel like all of that stuff happened when you were little too, right?
There's just less pulling hair and throwing things and
less.
You're out of the bus or locking them out or things like this. Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it past either one of my siblings to just get their foot and like boot me out the door. I really think that very much could possibly happen any day still. Like it's just, we have a lot of fun together.
It's crazy. Have you ever been locked out of a house by one of your siblings?
I don't think so. Nothing
I did.
that stands out. Oh, yeah?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Well, didn't you lock her out too?
No, she did just lock me because I was the little evil ADHD kid that couldn't stop. And she was the quiet sister that loved to watch her TV. And it was like plus 30 outside. She had her big shirt. She was she loved to, relax, be very calm and quiet. And I was like the storm, like the tornado because I wanted to play with me. But we're 5.5 years apart. So it's kind of that cut in the generation of, I am becoming an adult and I'm still that little crazy piece running around. But I remember last trip that I did with my sister, a couple of years, like Julie, add up 12 at least. I took her to Las Vegas. We went together on a trip in Las Vegas. And to this day, she still says how much her feet were destroyed. Because, I wake up early in the morning.
Because you were like, let's keep going.
Well, yes. At 5 a.m. in the morning, I was ripping the curtain up and saying, let's go and walk. And she has 4 kids. So for her, the trip away with her sister was, I'll be able to sleep in.
Right.
Yeah, no, not happening. So every day we walked, like forget 10,000 steps. Like that was way too low.
Yeah.
So bad that when she came back home, she went to her esthetician to have like a foot treatment. And the lady said, oh my God, what happened to you? So I spent a week with my sister.
And she's agreed to do it again.
She asked me. I know.
So 12 years has blurred the memories a little bit, dulled them a little bit.
I think that she thinks that I changed a bit, but
Would
surprise for
give
her.
her that idea.
The plan I have for her is not really relaxing, so we could.
What are you guys doing?
Well, I took her to some. Well, I'm going to take her to some CrossFit classes. Yeah, shopping.
Is she down for that? Like, what's her take on that?
I didn't ask. She asked me to plan a trip. I said, Okay, I'm on
Very
it.
Julie of you.
Yeah, exactly. She'll have fun. But yeah, we're gonna do a tour with locals where we're gonna visit, all the eye points in New York. It's her birthday, so I'm gonna take her to a nice restaurant, and yeah, it'll be lots of walking for sure. I said, bring good shoes and bring a warm coat because we're doing everything by foot. We're gonna walk.
Oh yeah, New York.
Yes,
That'll be
lots of
a bit
walking.
chilly.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll see. I'll give you a recap of my sister feet after a couple of weeks.
I can't wait to hear if this was like all smooth and laughs or if there was like conflict, how this all panned out. It'll be very interesting.
No, we get quiet.
Yeah.
When
you just stop talking to each other.
Yeah. Don't you think it's a Scorpio thing though?
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think you guys just get quiet when it's too much.
Is that a Scorpio thing?
I think it is. Let's see later.
Ask my husband.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into those voicemails questions. Maybe there's some Scorpio asking question. Who knows?
Yeah. So on to further voicemail questions from the Purity Life team. Let's hear the first one.
Currently, what are 3 beauty care products that are your go-to favorites from Purity Life, as well as 3 supplement products that are your go-to favorites from Purity Life?
Okay. What do you got? Are you ready?
You can go for it.
I'm going to start with supplements because I got to think a little bit about my top 3 beauty. I've said this before. I'm a little bit of a broken record, but Suro is on the top of my list all the time because it saves my whole family all the time. Getting a bit of a tickle in your throat, letting a bit of a cold, Suro. I will go through a whole bottle and you will be fine. So Suro's a big one for me supplement-wise. Keeping with the kids, the Aqua Omega gummies are really good and a really simple way to get the omega-3s.
Even though Aqua Omega is very good with the non-fishy, that's also another alternative.
Yeah,
too, right?
That's true. Even my kids will take the oil. I take the oil. I'd rather, because I want to get a solid dose, so I take the oil so I don't have to take too many capsules or gummies. Let's see. Third supplement of choice, if I go across the whole family too, would be magnesium. In different options. So dabble with the ITL powder magnesium because I can just do a drink before bed or whatever. And same with the kids. They'll do that.
It's a ritual kind of. Right?
Recently trying out the Trace Minerals magnesium gummies.
They're so good.
And they're like 85 milligrams per gummy. So it's actually a good dose.
Absolutely.
And they're tasty and they're easy and they travel well, or you can just grab one.
They're soft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kids love those ones
like
too.
That.
I think those would be the current kind
Top
of
3
key supplements right now. Yeah.
Good base of your house, as we say.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like I could list off another 20
million. Yes.
But base ones, that's some of the bigger ones.
Okay. Top 3, no surprise. First one, BioSteel for me. Every minute of the day, always have the hydration powder. Even at night, when I go to bed, I always have, you heard me chewing ice earlier.
Yeah.
I always like to have that big shaker because I work out a lot and during the day I sweat. In the workout, I sweat a lot. So yes, hydration is big for me. Any flavor, love all of them. So I use the powder. So that's my first one. Trace Mineral now is absolute favorite.
Yeah, you love those drops. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I put it in my also drink all day. The third one, I went back to Kyolic.
Yeah.
The extra strength one a day. Since last March when...
Speaking of base of your house.
Yes, absolutely. For performance and prevention. Definitely with the study from that doctor in Australia.
Yeah.
That just said...
You can't ignore it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want to perform and I want to prevent. So that's my top 3 for supplement.
Those are great.
Yes.
Those are great.
Your beauty.
Beauty supplements. Yeah. I'm really loving the routine face oils. The day oil and the night oil. Those are daily for me.
What do you like about them?
I'm getting the moisture of an oil, but it doesn't just sit on top of my face. Like I've tried a whole bunch of different oils or serums, and so many times I just end up being shiny within an hour because it's not really going in.
Absorbing.
And the routine absorbs really well, but it also keeps my face super, super soft.
Nice.
Which is nice. So I use that like décolletage and face, and I use the morning one in the morning, which also goes under makeup really well.
Absolutely.
Which is surprising for an oil because that's not always the case. And then, the night one to just kind of nourish overnight. Love that one too.
Good.
Okay, so a bit random, but this is kind of like a hidden gem for me. The Nature Mary, remember the brand Nature Mary, has a foot pedicure stick for like heels. So if you have a problem
So
ever,
crish on your bed.
Yeah.
Bed sheet.
yes,
feet.
yeah, exactly,
yeah,
right? You know how heels can get so dry and then they're a bit scratchy and got all dry
yeah.
skin. This heel balm is fantastic.
That's
It's
a great one,
so
actually.
so good. If my heels are getting a bit dry, I'll use it like maybe 3 nights in a row, and it's incredible. It just softens it right up. It's not scratchy, and it just deeply moisturized. I keep looking at it, I'm like, where else could I be using this? This stuff is powerful stuff.
Elbows.
Oh yeah.
Elbows.
Yep.
And when I was a esthetician, that's really where the 3 points we were calling that. So when you have like those dry cracking heels, elbows and kneecaps. A lot of people have like a different skin texture, and it becomes thicker. So it really looks like a bit rougher. So there's only that type of products that needs to be ultra rich, like almost a wax basically, that will help to fill the gaps and really soften the skin. So yeah, that's absolutely very good. And that's a problem actually, like the crack heels that happen a lot during colder season as well.
Yes.
Because
even as season changes, I find.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And more in the sort of the winter-ish start, because we take warmer shower. It's cold. We want to warm up, and it removes the natural oil of our skin.
Yeah.
That's why we get so dry skin, and then we don't put as much cream. We're not as intentional putting cream on our heels. So good one.
Yep.
Awesome.
Third would be, actually I want to say 3 and 4 because they're kind of blended. Rebel's Refinery has a 3-pack of lip balms with just some color in them. And I mean,
They're
you're a
fun.
lipstick girl.
Yes.
I cannot get used to myself with lipstick. I understand it's nice and whatnot, but it's difficult for me.
Not
And
practical.
It's just, but these routine ones, the Rebel's Refinery, I mean, I've always liked their balms, but the balm with the color is just so nice. I've just got it in my bag, just throw it on, gives it a little bit of color, and it's fantastic.
What don't you like about lipstick?
It's not
Question
that
Is it the texture? You feel that
no,
it's thicker?
it's not wearing it that bothers me. It's seeing it on me. I see myself and I feel like it looks
too much.
yeah.
But it doesn't. It looks
I know.
great.
I know.
Looks
You're
great.
not the only one to tell me that, but it's just, and I'll put it on for, when I need to podcast and stuff like that.
Yes.
But yeah, I think
Not a natural.
I naturally go to a shade that's probably about 10 times lighter than everybody else tells me that I should be going with.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Yeah,
We'll
I
get
don't
it
know.
for, you wear it for when it's a special occasion kind
yeah,
of.
exactly.
So my first one is the lime caviar, the cream from Antipodes.
Lovely.
Love that cream.
Lovely.
Because it just gives you the feel of first that you do a little trip to New Zealand, which is always great. But it just smooths out your fine lines.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a richer cream. So if you're an oily skin, you won't like it.
Yeah. Okay
There's
for
other
night, though.
things, but absolutely. And I even put it over my lips. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Just love that product. And the scent gets in the skin easily too, even though it's a richer cream.
It really does.
It
I
does.
agree with you. Actually, I have that one on my counter too. I do
Yeah.
really like that one. And it's like a deeper nourish, but it's not heavy.
Absolutely. I love using, just before that, the Maya serum. So that's really my go-to when I travel anywhere. The scent of that product is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. That's
And
Antipodes as well.
That's Antipodes as well. And the serum is like a nice silky gel. So it's not a gel because that would not be enough, but it's really a silky finish. And honestly, when you put that on, your skin just look, wow, like both together.
Yeah.
So I even put the lime caviar during the day. I don't keep that because I need that nourishment. The third one is a newish one, and it's called Nourish.
When I said Rebel's Refinery, but I kind of have two, that was the other thing that I was thinking
This
about.
one is the natural version of La Neige that is so popular at Sephora. It is a lip balm mask, but I use it even during the day. Under my lipstick, I put it on, or just when I work out, and it's rare that I don't have lipstick on. You rarely see me without, but that's one that makes your lips feel like plump.
It's incredible. It clearly moisturizes and smooths out. I don't know if you remember the last time we were podcasting, I said something about your lips. And I was thinking, I think she's using Nourish because they just were like beautifully smooth. And yeah, that stuff is fantastic.
It is. For whoever feels like, your lips are crackling or dry, or you feel like you want a little natural plump, that's absolutely the go-to. So,
and then you can use it with the lip scrub too. They're kind of like coordinating scrub.
Yeah, because it's always good to remove the dead skin cells before. But that is my 3 and 3. Our
Good
3
one.
and 3.
Good one.
Good morning. My question for the podcast is, what is the biggest misconception about the services or products that Purity Life offers?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. Misconception. So what are people thinking that we're doing that we're not? Or
okay, one angle, because it's a good question. I would say that we are a distributor, and people who know me would have heard me saying that many times. We ship boxes. I always say that as a distributor, and I think it's starting to not be a misconception anymore, but I like to kind of make it very clear that we do so much more. All the planograms, helping brands that we distribute to be successful by providing some more insights on the industry, the trend talk that we do together, again, to educate people out there. If we were I would say in brackets, a simple distributor, we would just ship boxes, the best, and we're doing that very well. But we have that specialization that really help, store to succeed or brand. So we have that extra service. That would be my answer, because I don't see a huge misconception. I think we've been around the block quite a couple of years.
The only thing I can think of, and to be honest, I'm not sure how much of a misconception this is, but would be the idea that because we've grown so much, like we're such a large company now, that maybe there would be some personality missing or that kind of person-to-person connection. And I would say that would be a misconception, because I think there certainly is so much of that still built into Purity Life, where it's about the people and the connections. And I think that
because
our whole team,
you
would lose that. And our whole team is still making those personal connections with all of our retailers and our vendors. Like it's all about the relationships, and that certainly, I wouldn't say that any of that has been lost as we've grown.
I agree. Yeah.
Having traveled across Canada to various accounts, what would you say are some of the commonalities that you see between some of the stores?
I like that question, Heather.
Stores across country,
and that's, I would say, when you look at what they purchase, there's definitely differences.
There's some not commonalities.
Exactly. So we'll go to the commonality. I would say that there is still a need to invest in and focus on the natural personal care. I've been
good one.
saying that it's been almost 20 years that I'm a broken record on this, but there's so much opportunity, and I still see that sprinkle here and there. I would say that there's stores that are doing a great job, but sort of a commonality from west to east. It's kind of still an afterthought a little bit. Like we have tons of options, but people in the store are still very much knowledgeable in supplements. And there's food, but the being at ease and really seeing
hands-on,
the opportunity.
not being hands-on enough with.
Yes, exactly. So for me, that's the first one that come to mind. How about you?
Commonalities, same thing. Like I think it's more evident when we see, the West is really doing this, or the East is like, we see those differences more so than commonalities. I think you're right on personal care for sure. I would say in a lot of situations, they have the same struggles. I think the commonalities are kind of what their adversity is. The kind of shift there's been in how much labor you're going to have on the store floor. So not necessarily always having the opportunity to have somebody there to hold the customer's hand and show that. So everybody's kind of figuring out, okay, how do we then cater to that? And it's signage and communication and information and the way that you've planogrammed and all of those things. So there's lots of solutions there, but so many of them are running into the same thing across the country. And I would also say, to some extent, building e-commerce, I think.
I was just writing that.
Depends on the level of the store. Same, right? You've got dabbles of them that are doing fantastic. But so many, I think, understand that this is a place that they need to be and they need to be strong in, but they're really struggling to figure out, okay, how do we play that game? How are we able to do not only create the storefront that's going to be appealing and make sure that we've got your, your favorite add-ons and the right information, but how do we then fulfill it? I think that is a common struggle for a lot of these stores.
I would add to that, seeing the importance of the social media aspect.
Yes.
Again, tied up within the beauty segment, but not just that, supplements as well. But understanding that the other generations are absolutely being influenced by the micro influencers. And you need absolutely to get somebody in your store or somebody that shop at your store to keep you on trends with that. And shout it out loud that you understand what it is. Yeah. So not just saying, oh, I don't do that, or we don't have those people. Yeah. They shop everywhere, and you need to show that you're up to, those trends.
Really. I would take it one step further even and say, if those people aren't shopping there, you better figure out how to make them shop there, or you're going to run out of customers. Like your customers are going to age out. You need some longevity. So you got to figure out how to cater to those customers as well.
Yeah. I think that's all good points on that.
The natural health landscape has experienced many changes. Consumer buying patterns have altered, trends move so quickly, and there's more competition than ever. If you could give 5 recommendations to a retailer to stay relevant and competitive in this evolving market, what would they be?
I would say one is absolutely, we touch a little bit on the other question, but social media.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you want to stay relevant, you absolutely need to get somebody on there and not being afraid and not wait to even post and do things. So not only watch what is happening, but create your own in-store TikTok.
Yeah.
What I hear and what I see is people want it to be perfect and they wait. So they don't do anything.
It's interesting because I think for those of us that aren't in the very young ages, that's the biggest thing about social media, right? Like I think we come from this mindset of perfection, and if I'm going to publish something, it needs to be perfect. And that was the learning curve for me, even in, if you want content out there, social media is not about perfection. It's really not.
It's far from that. It's genuine.
Right. It's genuine, and it lives at a speed that doesn't have time for perfection. If you've got something to say, put it out there. If you've got something to showcase, put it out there.
And that's powerful.
You can't spend a week sitting on that, making that a perfect picture. You just you got to get it. Yeah.
You're already out of the trend.
But being able to, I think for so many people and for me, being able to kind of take that piece and step over it can be very difficult. So I think that's a piece of it too.
It is, and not related 100% to social media, not being like a TikTok on Instagram. But remember when we started the podcast?
Yeah.
It took us a while to say, oh, we're going to start it. And then if you look episode 1 to today, so I think the mindset that people have to remember when they think about TikTok or Instagram or anything is you're going to learn as you go. So it will get better as you go, but you need to just...
But you got to jump on that train.
Yes, absolutely. And that's
otherwise
what
it's leaving without you.
That's what people are looking. Like they're no longer looking for that, superstar. Yes, they will look at it, but they can't relate. So you need to be doing those things and people will gravitate. So that would be my
attention
number
to
one.
social for sure.
Yes.
We just talked about it. I would say probably putting more resources efforts into your e-commerce than you are right now. It's hard, and it feels like, I think for a lot of people, that you're taking those resources away from those of you with brick and mortar stores, but you've got to do it, and you've got to make it right, and you've got to put the resources behind it to stay relevant, or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, if you look in the US, all online sales represent maybe 50% of the supplement sales. So if you're not proposing, it's a problem.
And it can't just be take your catalog and throw it online, right? No. When we think about basket size in store, so much of that can be, well, now I've talked to that customer, or that customer saw that I put these other items right next to it, or that customer saw that I had an end cap and had this great product. Those opportunities don't just create themselves online. You need to be building those catalogs and those connections so that when people are in there, you're showcasing other items that they haven't come there for. Or you're showcasing items that, hey, you came here for this. This is another item that's great. Yeah, you're perfect partners. All of that has to be built. You cannot ignore that or your basket size will just continue to decrease. So tons and tons of stuff to do there.
I would say be better at in-store promotions.
Yep.
Not just taking the calendar activity of a brand and just slap that in and put a discount because you got a discount, and that's not sexy, that's not exciting. I would look at definitely the calendar of the year, celebrations, and also into that create your own in-store activity. But again, having that special end cap that is really inviting, that you think about, yes, the music, the lighting, the smell, the tasting, all those senses. So you need to be very intentional within your planning in the year. And I would suggest to bring your key people for discussions. So it's not just a one person, because the taste I have are different than yours and the other person. So you need to have many people that put their thoughts in there. So I would say definitely a better in-store activity planning.
Yeah. What's that, 3?
Yes.
Okay. So I would also say do your research. So you're only going to be relevant if you know what's going on. So you have to make decisions like, I'm going to leave my store and walk right in the door of the competition. I'm going to check out what they're all doing.
I'm conventional too,
not
just in the natural.
Yes, good point. Yes, absolutely. You need to know what everybody is doing, not just the health food store down the road. You need to be going to trade shows. You need to be seeing what's available there. You need to be listening to those experts, that podcasts, people that are, right? All of that stuff. This goes to the social as well. But any opportunity that you can get out of your day-to-day and learn more and see what other people are doing and grab new information, and don't be afraid to act on it. Some of them are going to be misses. Some of them you're going to go behind and it's going to be a miss. But man, when you hit those right, you are going to be looked at as the trend setter, the one that's ahead of the game, and that's what's going to keep your customers coming back.
There's like 2 parts that I would like to add that are not like we'll say it's number 5, but it sort of goes off what you say. And I always like to say it's great to look at what the competition is doing, where are the trends, and not being frustrated of they have this, they do that, but rather say, okay, this is good idea, or go to conventional and see Sephora. You get right in the door, you will see what's on TikTok, what's trending on TikTok. So you can take that back in your store, but it's also important to every year to redefine who you are. What is important to you as a retailer? Because I always have that image that I saw on Instagram on Michael Phelps in his lane, and the other guy beside him was watching what he was doing.
Right.
But Michael Phelps was looking into his, I'm going to win.
I know
there.
where I'm going.
Yes. So it's good to look at your competitors, to educate yourself, be very clear on who you are as a business, who you are, and really focus on being the best of that. So then you don't have to be so worried or wasting energy on your competitor, because you're unique. And you will speak to retailer that customers, that, they feel they connect with you. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that really does pull back to how to stay relevant. And along those same lines is, building, okay, what are your values? What are you aiming for? What's your brand story? And build your brand story, and then make sure that you're telling your brand story, because when your values are aligning with your customer values, they want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of that community. They want to support that community. They're going to be willing to give a lot, and they're going to be loyal.
They'll have fun because they connect, right? People need connection. No, we're all on, social, but it's not through deep connections where you're going to be able to create that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There we go.
Purity Life has 6 core values that fall under the umbrella of commit. There's collaboration, operational excellence, mutual respect, making a difference, integrity, and transparency. Which value resonates the most with you, and why?
Pick one.
Pick one. But I think the one that is definitely transparency for me.
Yeah.
200%, without a doubt, without a second thought. Transparency with data. We like to have that to be able to, again, help the brands that we support. Data transparency with our customers to show how they're doing, how we can help them to grow, and also data, national data, to be able to identify trends.
Right.
So that's one part of the transparency. But as a person, I would say that I need to be 100% transparent,
right,
good or bad. And sometimes, my delivery system is very direct. So I wouldn't say that everybody are ready to hear, the full, real, transparent message. Right. I don't like the gloves, like the white gloves protection. Yeah. I just say it. And with me, you will always know what it is. Straight. There's no, did she mean this? Did she mean that? So it's good with the employees and everybody. So good or bad.
Don't sell yourself short though. Like, I mean, you say, you don't want the white gloves, which is exactly you. But there are people who do that to a fault. And you have found that balance of being able to be very transparent and direct, but not in an offensive, abrasive way.
Thank you.
Which I think is, it's something to be proud of. I mean, that's not natural for a lot of people. Often they're on one side or the other. They're not giving the full story, or they're giving the full story and people don't want to hear it, like they're done with you. Whereas you've really found that kind of balance to be able to be super transparent, but also productive and conducive to positivity and whatnot.
What's yours?
I tend to be more people focused. So I feel like it would be either mutual respect or making a difference. Okay. I think are the ones that resonate the most with me. I want to have a positive impact on not only my direct colleagues and the people that I work with, but also all of our partners, our retailer, our vendor partners. Yeah. That's what gets me going. Yeah. That's what drives me.
Yeah, and I can see that because even in your department, you really have a ripple effect on the other department as well, right? So you're always making sure that everybody is okay, and so that's we can definitely see that. Yeah. Elevating excellence, I think I'm saying elevating excellence, but that's making a difference is very common. And I have that one too. That would be like my second. Yeah. Because I think that making a difference, it's not only with helping the stores and people to grow and making a difference to even with the products that we sell in people's life, but making a difference in helping people to grow. I think that's a big thing for me personally, that I love people that come and say, hey, I want to do more. Yeah. I want to grow. I want another position or something like that. I will love that. I just love when I say, oh, there you go.
Yeah. Let me support you on that journey.
Exactly. Yeah. What for you, how would you explain you're making a difference on your side? That too?
Similar, yeah. I think it's just ensuring that everybody that I have connection with, whether it's internally or externally, there's some positive impact that I'm able to have. Yes. Whether that's mentoring or helping or supporting or helping teach or just being even that kind of sounding board, being able to be empathetic to struggles that people are having, but also being able to really be one of those people that can celebrate those wins. I think all of those things are pieces of it too.
They're all good. I think it depends on the situation, but yes, I think we identify the one that resonated quickly to us.
Will Purity Life ever distribute products outside of natural supplements and groceries? Any plans to expand into other markets in the future?
I can start that one, and I believe it's Jason.
Yeah, it sounded like Jason, right?
It sounded like Jason. We already started to do that with sports nutrition. I would say that post-COVID, a long time ago, but it really absolutely opened up the doors for us to more sports nutrition with existing brands that we have, sort of opened the door to other opportunity. So we do look into brands that maybe they're not 100% clean and clear, but they're getting there. And they take people that were buying conventional, you gotta
meet everybody where they are.
Exactly. And then we're merging the change. Yeah. So I would say that is where we are going. Are we going to do more food and all of that side, that's not our strength. We're very clear on this. And again, we want to focus on what we're good at. What is more food for us or grocery is more the snack and things that are very niche or different.
Yeah, a little bit more boutique, right?
Boutique, exactly. So that would be my answer. Mm-hmm.
I would say, though, that Purity Life is always open to innovation, always open to growth, always looking to build. So, who knows what the future brings, right?
We don't know, but again, we have a certain direction and we need to be really focused on what we do, because then you lose sight and you can be, jack of all trade, master of none.
Yeah.
And we're always been very good with our supplements, beauty, and that sports nutrition that open a lot. And I think for, unless, again, we're open to look at things, but that's really the doors.
We know where
absolutely
our pathway is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the last question.
Oh,
I know. We want to do more of those. We definitely want to do more of those. If you have a question for Purity Pulse, call into the podcast and record your question. And Julie and I will give you some answers, give you some of our own perspectives. You can click the link in the description and record your question.
So now we're on to New to Purity Life, and I'm quite excited because, I love coffee.
Yes.
And protein. So we're going to talk about Ara Magnum Essentials. This is fantastic because not only you get your 10 grams of protein, but you have also two options. There's my side here for those who are watching. I have the one that has the protein and also the coconut oil, which make it more as a creamer.
Right.
You still need to add your coffee to that. So what is basically the product gives you is that whey protein. And also if you're looking into the creamer side of things, you'll have that more creamy.
Right.
On your side, you have without the creamer, basically. So you have your whey protein. And again, to that, you add your coffee.
Yeah.
Which is great about that brand because I used it. I was traveling lately. First of all, they're sachets, so it's easy to travel. But also, it's easy to mix.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried a couple of other brands, even in the US, and that was always the problem. It doesn't shake really well. And even if you don't have the frother, you just mix it a little bit with, it just dissolves.
Nice.
And they have actually like a patent that a special way that they do it.
That's right, because so many people are probably concerned, well, if how much can I heat my protein before it's going to denature? And they have a patented process, right? That they're using this hydrolyzed protein so that it doesn't denature even given that heat of that coffee.
And you don't get clumps. So if you put it in your cup, you don't have to worry about, and I'm sure you've done that before. I did that, like just take regular whey protein because I wanted to be quick, and then oops, there's a little floater in there. So that's not
when
good.
There's all the
Yes.
I know what you mean.
And the packaging for those who are listening is very like black and stands out on shelf.
Yep.
Again, we mentioned that there is the tub, but what I like too for the stores is you can sell it individually. So you buy the box, and if you open the box, actually they're all individual sachet, and that speaks to people that want to try something new, but they don't want to invest in the full thing first, or you're on the go. It's easy.
The sachets have UPCs on them, so really easy to sell at the cash.
And there's different flavors. So there's vanilla, caramel, hazelnut, mocha, and plain. And Erin has the caramel, and oh God, it smells so good in here.
It tastes as good as it smells.
Yeah, it just creates that whole ambiance. So you'll be able to not only have people that have their favorite drinks, but it will also create that nice halo. So suggestion for the stores, do a passive demo with this because that absolutely wins people.
Yeah. And people will do it because they want the coffee too.
Absolutely.
Easy pull-in.
What a great episode. I mean, those questions are absolutely fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that would be fun to have some from the audience.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to the show and leave us a rating and a review. You can follow us on Instagram at PurityLifeLProductLP and myself at JD_Girl Power.
And I'm at Erin G. Macklin.